Welcome to the Life Makeovers podcast. My name is Cindy D. Whitmer, and I am the Midlife Makeover Coach, helping you turn your midlife into your best life, one step at a time. Through powerful conversations, my own midlife roller coaster story, and over 3 decades of helping people transform their lives through counseling and coaching, I am on a mission to help you create your own definition of success and happiness. Thank you for being here. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Life Makeovers podcast. My name is Cindy Whitmer, and I thank you so much for being here with me today. And I really want to say a shout out to those of you who've been listening a long time. Some of you since this podcast began, and just extra thank you for those for you. And for those of you who are new, welcome. And please, everybody, share these episodes with other people. Let them know that this is a resource for them, and that I am on a mission to make life a better experience for everyone on this planet. I love to give out love, light, information, anything I can to really help you all step into living your best lives, which is what I am striving to do in my life as well. And today, have I got a story for you that has been weeks in the making. So, oh my goodness. So, on February 1st, 2024, just some weeks ago, I was out on a walk. I live out on 10 acres outside of Lawrence, Kansas with my husband, Ed. And there is a trail that we mow all around the outer edges of our property. And so I walk it often. I just love it. There's a lot of trees, there's animals around. It's just beautiful. And we had unusually warm weather a lot of days in February, actually. So this was one of those days. And I had worked all day, and then I took a break, and decided to walk. And walked around the property a few times, did a few rounds, and then was walking up our gravel driveway toward the house and decided, you know what, I'm going to stay outside a little longer, even until Ed probably gets home. So I'm going to get out one of our Adirondack chairs and set it on there's a smaller deck and a larger deck. And I was going to put it on this smaller deck that's close to our grill and things. And we fold up and put away furniture over the winter, patio furniture and such. But we have the Adirondack chairs just folded up against the counter by the grill. So I unfolded the Adirondack chair and sat down on it and put my arms on those, the long armrests, and I looked over at my wedding ring on my hand. For those of you watching YouTube, here's my wedding ring. And the main diamond of the ring was gone. It wasn't in there. It was gone. And I felt terrible. I instantly just felt horrified. Now, for those of you that have been listening to this podcast for the last year and 15 months, however long it's been going, you know that after I'd been married just 1 month, the diamond out of this ring fell out. Then, when I was helping move our kids, it was moving day for our kids in Texas. And I was carrying box after box after box, back and forth from the truck to the apartment, to the truck to the apartment. And all of a sudden I realized the diamond is out of my ring, right? And miraculously, in all the piles of all their stuff in their apartment, because it was moving day, it was all chaotic. It was a total You know how moving day is. There's no order, there's no nothing. There's just piles and piles of stuff. And miraculously, I found it. And so was able to get it mounted again in the ring. That was last June 2023. So here I am again in February of 2024, looking down at my hand and going, what? It's gone again? How can this be so? How can this be so? I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I was mortified. And so, of course, what do I do immediately? I fold the chair back up, lean it back up against the counter in the grill area where it was before, and I start looking. I look all over the little deck that I was sitting at. I look all through the grill area where the chair was, where I'd gotten the chair out, where I had walked around. Then I start out on the gravel driveway. Oh my gosh, the gravel driveway. Well, of course, it's gravel and the sun is shining, and every 3 inches there is a rock sparkling, and I think, oh, there it is, there it is, there it is, there it is. Nope, nope, nope. I mean, I scoured, I looked and looked, I looked until I couldn't look anymore. It was, I felt so terrible. I mean, I am not, I promise you, if you don't know me personally, you don't know this, but if you know me personally, you know I am not a materialistic person. I mean, I like things just as much as anybody, I suppose. But honestly, most stuff I don't care. I mean, I'm happy to have it, but I don't value it like, but my wedding ring, what it symbolizes, it's my most prized possession, honestly. And oh my gosh, the diamond was gone again. So I felt horrible. And then eventually, of course, Ed comes driving up the driveway, and I just look at him. I hold up my hand and I said, I cannot believe it. I don't know what happened. I don't know how it happened, but once again, I've lost this diamond. I'm so sorry. My heart is breaking. I don't know what to do. I've looked and 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 looked. I mean, it was just awful. So he suggested that after it got dark that night, to take a flashlight outside, because in the dark with the light, the diamond might sparkle on the driveway, more. Because I knew the diamond was still in my ring on the way around one of the trips around, because I just noticed it. Anyway, so I did that. I got out a flashlight, I went outside, and I bent over and I scoured the driveway, the gravel, back and forth with that light shining. What bent over? I was bent over for so long, for so long. And I took the flashlight and I went up to the grill area, looked all around, looked under the Adirondack chairs where they were folded up, behind them, in front of them, all around them, the ground around them, back to that little deck, all over. I looked and 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 I looked, and I could not find it. I could not find it. So I felt terrible. I felt so terrible. So the next day, of course, I am on the phone with the insurance company, because my husband was wise enough to get this ring insured and set in motion what they needed. And then I called the jeweler, Shane and Company. Shout out to Shane and Company. Explained what happened and scheduled to bring in the ring and to look at replacement diamonds. And so we did that and found out in the process, good news, that there was a lifetime warranty on the diamond. from Shane and Company. So we didn't even need the insurance piece. So anyway, that was nice to hear. And thank you, Shane and Company. And so they're like, just come in, and we've got a couple diamonds that are very similar to yours. And you let us know which one you want us to mount in there, and da, 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 da. They decided, since this had happened not once, but twice with me, and that I protect this ring like crazy. They wear it to sleep. I don't wear it in the shower, in the bathtub. I don't wear it to exercise. I don't wear it to eat. I don't put my hands in a kitchen sink with this ring on. I take it off when I'm making dinner and cleaning up dinner. I mean, I protect it a lot. They told me to protect it a lot. And even still, this happened. And so they said, we're going to put stronger prongs. We're going to use stronger prongs, put the diamond down deeper. Anyway, so that was great. We had a plan. The diamond was replaced with no cost because of their lifetime warranty, as long as you have part of the ring, etc. And ironically, it was done on February 14th. So on Valentine's Day, we went together and picked up my fixed ring, my replaced diamond, and then had a nice dinner out in Kansas City near their store and everything. And so after 2 weeks of not having my ring on, which also was, I didn't like that. It felt so good to have it back on. So I felt better. So many times, over the next, during that stretch of time, we both thought, wow, there's a diamond laying around somewhere on this property, probably underneath the gravel, probably slipped down in there. And maybe miraculously someday somebody will find it, like 20 years from now, 30 years from now, and we're not here anymore, whatever, and kind of joked around about that and so forth. So anyway, so I've walked the property many times since then, because we've had an unusually warm February. Although we did have some rain, we did have some snow and winds and things too. So then one day, it was February 20th. It was 19 days after I lost the diamond. I was walking the property again. It was a beautiful day. And I had my wedding ring on. And I was making my rounds around the property and came up the last leg of the driveway. I thought, well, I'm going to go in the house. This is the last lap I'm doing now, and can go out in the house, start dinner, whatever. And I saw all the sparklies on the gravel, and I thought, oh, it reminds me of the night that I was out there and looking at every sparkle, thinking it was the diamond, it was the diamond, it was the diamond, and I was just reflecting on that experience, and I thought, yeah, it's got to be here somewhere, but wow. Anyway, something said to me, a little voice said, oh, just go look around again. Just go look around again. And so I just honestly just walked. I mean, I didn't look in the gravel, but I walked up and I decided, oh, I'll go look on that little deck. It's sunny out and the deck's dark brown. And so a diamond would show easily. And I walked over to the deck, and of course I didn't see it there. And noticed the spaces between the wood and thought, oh, maybe it fell down in between the wood. And then I turned around into the grill area and looked, by the Adirondack chairs and everything. And I looked down on the ground between the Adirondack chairs and the grill. And there it was, hiding in plain sight. Can you believe it? 19 days after it fell out of my ring, it was laying there in plain sight on the ground right by where I put the Adirondack chairs. Now listen, there has been wind, there has been rain, there has been snow, there has been all kinds of weather. Not to mention the fact that Ed has been out there grilling for our dinner, I don't know how many times in those 19 days, and literally standing inches from where that diamond was laying, at least at the time I found it. What in the world happened? Because when I lost that diamond, I was on my hands and knees in that area, that same area, looking, frantically looking all around the chairs, all around that area, all around the grill, all over the deck. I mean, not to mention the hours I spent on the driveway looking at thousands of pieces of gravel that looked just like a diamond. Yeah, I'd never seen it. Like, what in the world happened? I picked it up and I thought, where have you been? Like, what was your journey? Like, where were you? Because you were not right here. I thought to myself, well, did an animal or a bird of some kind, you know, see it sparkling somewhere and got curious about it and picked it up or put it in the beak and then dropped it back down? Like, animals get on that counter of the grill all the time. We've seen it happen, and birds. What happened? Or did God simply move the diamond, put it in my sight that day? What told me to go looking again? I mean, I wasn't looking intensely, but some voice inside me said, when I was on the walk that day, 19 days later, oh, just go look around, just go take a peek. And I found it in less than 5 minutes. And I wasn't even looking hard like I had before. Before I had, oh, well, you understand. I think I've made myself clear. So to me, this is nothing short of miraculous. If this is not a giant wink from God, I don't know what is. And I am a God person. I believe in God. You may or may not. That's okay. Just hear me. Hear the message. If you don't like the words, hear the message. Maybe it was angels at play. Maybe, again, maybe a raccoon came along, picked it up, and put it back down somewhere else, or a bird. Who knows? But I thought, I need to pay attention to this. This is a lesson. There are lessons here for me to catch. And I've caught them. And now I want to share them because they mean so much to me. And I wonder if it could mean something to any one of you. So there are 6 lessons, and then there's powerful questions I want to ask you around this whole story. Okay. Number 1, for me, and again, my word is God, God has got my back always. This is one of the lessons that came to my mind. And I believed this for most of my life. I mean, I was raised with that belief. I believed that. But I've had some times in the recent past where I've been a little shook and I've been a little rattled and I've been a little more anxious or worried than normally about something going on in my life. And I've thought, and I've just, I've had some worry, and that's not typical for me, but I have done that. I've entered that zone. I did a bit late last fall, especially. And that little diamond that was hiding there in plain sight that seemed to look up at me and go, oh, I'm here. Here I am. Somehow translated for me, God always has my back. And number 2, that trying too hard is trying too hard. Because when I was worried in my life in late 2023 for a few months, really started to stress out about something, I tried really hard. I cranked up my efforts to change the situation, and I was thinking hard and trying hard and working hard and really went after it hard. And then when I lost this diamond on February 1st, on February 1st and 2nd, I tried so hard to find that diamond. I tried so hard. I hurt my back trying so hard. I hurt my knees trying so hard. My heart was breaking in 1,000 pieces. I was trying so hard. I felt so terrible. I felt ashamed. I felt it just was horrible how hard I was on myself about that. And I don't even know how the darn thing fell out, honestly, to this day. Like, I didn't bump it. I didn't, the prong, they think the prongs were compromised and it just slipped out. But anyway, trying too hard. It's trying too hard. So, regarding that thing I was worried about late last year, as the new year began, I decided to let it go and not try so hard. I decided to let it go and give it to God and go, you know what? Please take this situation and you handle it and reveal to me what you want me to do, and I'll do it. And I have relaxed about that. And when I wasn't looking hard for the diamond, not really, I mean, I hadn't even had a thought of looking for it until right before I was inspired to look for it. And I found it in less than 5 minutes. So trying too hard is trying too hard. These rules don't just apply to me. These lessons aren't just for me. I know they're not. So I'm sharing them with you today. Number 3, what is ours always comes to us or always comes back to us. What is ours always comes to us or always comes back to us. This is people, this is things, these are opportunities, these are clients, this is money, this is stuff, it could be anything or anyone. Okay? What is ours always comes to us or comes back to us. So we don't have to go grab and reach and try hard and all of that. No, we can ease our way through life. We really, really can. Number 4, we do not need to worry about anything, nothing, absolutely nothing. Now, I know how that sounds. I do. Trust me, I know how that sounds. And it may sound disrespectful, disregarding, upsetting. You might really be annoyed with me right now. Please be annoyed with me if you want. Don't believe me if you don't want to. It's okay to disagree with me. I don't mind, honestly. What I'm telling you is that for me, I know that deep down, I and you and no one needs to worry about anything because it's all working out. It's all working itself out. It's all working itself out. Okay? Number 5, trust. The capital TRUST, trust. All is well at all times. This is what this little diamond spoke to me, right? This little silly incident, this little miracle showing up reminded me, trust, Cindy, trust, 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 trust. And number 6, everything is always working out for me and for you, everyone, for everyone. Everything is always working out. I mean, the thing is that the quote unquote problem about losing the diamond, quote unquote, was solved, right? It didn't cost us anything because of the warranty, and we had insurance also. So it wasn't going to cost us anything. So that wasn't a burden to bear, right? And the diamond had been replaced and mounted, and all, my ring was all complete again, and I was wearing it again. It was like a done deal. right? It was all resolved. So there wasn't anything lingering about this experience. And so we completely let it go. We moved on in life, right? We moved on. I'd had the ring back for almost a week, wearing my ring again when the diamond showed up. So isn't that interesting that once we let it all go, then there it was. Okay, so powerful questions I want you to ask yourself that I am asking myself as well since having this experience. Okay, take whatever you can get from this experience, please, because I just like me, I like to share my own life stories to offer what I can to help you navigate your life in the best way you see fit. Powerful questions. Number one, what are you missing in your life? What are you missing in your life? Number two, what are you not seeing that is right in front of you? What are you not seeing that is right in front of you? Ooh. And number three, this is a question that Jack Canfield taught in training when I was certified in his coaching program. What are you pretending not to know? What are you pretending not to know? Denial is a short-term solution to problems, right? Denial is a temporary band-aid, but it will not ever help anything evolve in a healthy way. So what are you pretending not to know? Number four, listen up. How are you trying too hard in your life? How are you trying too hard in your life? I bet my life that every one of you are trying too hard in some area. I've done it a million times. I've tried too hard a gazillion times. Oh my gosh. It's one of my great lessons in life that just keeps coming back around to remind me to choose ease, to choose effortlessness. It's not the same as laziness. It's flow. It's getting into your flow. You know, some of us were saying in a spiritual community I'm involved with recently, it's like in life, we humans sometimes get in our canoes and try to go upstream in the canoe, you know, rowing our oars so hard just to try to go upstream when we could just get in the canoes with even out the oars and flow downstream easily, right? So where are you trying too hard? How are you trying too hard? Number five, what are you worrying about too much? What are you worrying about at all? 95% of what we worry about never happens, according to research. 95%. And sure, crap happens. It does. But a lot of things that we worry about are not in our control anyway. If you're worried about something that you're in control of, then do something about it so you can quit worrying. And if it's not in your control, let it go, because your worrying isn't going to make any difference with the result. It's only going to make you sicker and more stressed out. So, what are you worrying too much about? Number six, last question. What can you do right now to make your life easier? What can you do right now to make your life easier? Wow. So those are six powerful questions. that came to me as I was reflecting on this experience of losing my diamond yet again for the second time in an 8-month period. Oh my gosh. And then finding it. So now the joke between my husband and I is, hey, I'll lose diamonds, but I always find them. Oh, but there's something so much greater that's gone on with all of this. And so please, please catch it with me. Catch the lessons with me and ask yourself those powerful questions and see where it leads you in your life, because I really believe your personal answers to those questions and your responses to the lessons that I have learned through this experience can actually move you forward in your life toward greater satisfaction, greater joy, and greater peace in your life. And isn't that what we all want? I think it is. And I am here with you on the path. Have a great day. Thank you so much for listening to the Life Makeovers podcast. Please like, subscribe, and share this podcast with those that you think would also benefit from what we're doing here. And I will talk to you again soon.